what you were saying, with this favoring him, and I do agree, and I do probably have him winning this fight, but
What's up, Barnhill family? Welcome back to the channel.
Yo.
So, Nick, it's not a title fight, but it's got 5 rounds on it.
Yep.
Nate Diaz, Leon Edwards. Just watching some of the content that the UFC has put out, the road to the octagon or whatever the show's called. It keeps changing names
Countdown.
on me. UFC Countdown 263. Just the tail end of that where they showed Nate Diaz preparing in Stockton with some of the old Scrap Pack members, Gilbert Melendez, and you've got Leon, in England, Birmingham, looking crisp, sharp, and also very relatable, talking about his personal story with his dad being murdered. I did not know that from humble beginnings in Kingston, Jamaica. And
cool.
Not to personalize this, but we lived in Jamaica a couple of years. We know what sort of beginnings he came from,
just how tough life can be down
just
there.
how tough it can be, and I think it's just a beautiful story. I cannot wait for this fight. I mean, the odds are just very lopsided.
Yeah.
Leon's supposed to win this fight. He's a minus 500 favorite. Nate has not fought since November 2019. He's a plus 350 underdog. All signs are pointing to Rocky getting his hand raised at the end of the night, but as you and I both know, Nathan Diaz is no walk in the park for any fighter.
Right. Nate Diaz, anytime he's in a fight, it's a big fight feel. And, he's always making history. Now he's doing the first co-main or main event that's a 5-round fight, 5-round match. There's no title on the line, but needless to say, this is Leon Edwards' biggest matchup to date, and I'm really excited for it. It just has that feel. You watch the countdown. I called it embedded, but you watch the countdown, and obviously the 2 title fights are huge. You feel those, but it's almost like there's a mega star just waiting. It's like a treat.
Yeah.
It's almost like the appetizer is like the main course. It's like you could serve us Leon versus Nate Diaz alone by itself, and I'd still pay the $70 or whatever ESPN Plus is asking for. It's just Nate Diaz is just another thing. He's bigger than not bigger than the sport, but he's bigger than the title fights. So Leon Edwards should really appreciate this moment, and understand that even though it's been a little bit of a rocky road between him and the UFC, I feel like this is a tip of the hat and a nod of approval that the UFC is giving him, because they've allowed him to take a fight against one of the big 3 biggest stars in the sport. You've got your Conor McGregor, your Jorge Masvidal, your Nate Diaz. That's pretty much the biggest 3 people you can possibly draw into. And getting
certainly
a fight,
by pay-per-view numbers, I would say absolutely.
Yeah. So Leon Edwards should be very, very happy with the position that he's currently in.
That are active, I'll say. Habib, although not active, can draw big numbers.
Yeah.
For the guys that are currently on the roster, you named it. And when you get a night out with one of them, it's a big night.
Oh, huge.
And the UFC, listen, Leon Edwards, early on in his career, early on in his UFC career, I should say, lost to Kamaru Usman.
Right.
Since then, he has rattled off 8 wins in a row and looks spectacular.
In one of the toughest divisions.
One of the tough, absolutely, if not the toughest. It goes back and forth between 155 and 170, but it's 1A and 1B, and you just pick which one you think is which.
Right.
But Leon Edwards has looked spectacular.
Yes.
He destroyed RDA in his last, outing, the Bilal Muhammad fight, we can just kind of push that no contest to the side. His last true outing was RDA in San Antonio, 2019, almost 2 years ago. Looked spectacular. What's the one complaint about Leon Edwards is he's not a finisher. 18 wins, only 6 finishes. Now who is hard to finish? Nate Diaz. He's got 5 rounds now in front of him. I feel like this is just a silver platter opportunity for Edwards, because I do think he matches up favorably with Nate.
Yeah, he
I
does.
think that he's going to be quicker, crisper. He's got an incredible gas tank.
His
Nate's
striking is really good.
very clean, very crisp. And Nate's the kind of guy who's willing to take 2 to give one good one. And I think this is just all the stars are aligning for if Leon can have a career-defining performance here, ushering himself. They're probably going to do Colby versus Kamaru next, but I think Dana White has pretty much guaranteed that that's going to happen. But
I think it's official by now.
Yeah, with an outstanding performance, which I think Leon is primed for here, he's next in line.
Yeah, for sure. And, just you have to say the same thing for Nate. Even though Nate Diaz hasn't been on a crazy win streak like Leon, he is certainly one win away against the dark horse of the 170 division, away from being in a title fight with Kamaru Usman or Colby Covington, whoever takes that belt home. Leon Edwards definitely wants to get the fight back with Usman. That's probably a pretty big rematch, one of the biggest that the UFC could make right now. And a Colby fight, Leon and Colby, both volume fighters, both gas tanks for days, both really good with their striking and mixing up the martial arts. So you really can't miss with Leon Edwards right now. You were right about a lot of what you were saying, with this favoring him, and I do agree, and I do probably have him winning this fight, but I don't think he has very much, if any, 5-round experience, because the Bilal Muhammad fight, that was supposed to be 5 rounds. The
RDA fight would be the only one.
Okay, so Nate Diaz has a gang full of 5-round fights, right? And
he doesn't start fighting until the 4th round.
Right, exactly. He's prime, and if they didn't rob him from the BMF title, he would have had another 5-round fight that got finished. And I just feel like Nate is able to put extra weight on the gas pedal later in the fights, and he's going to probably want to take Leon into deep waters. Leon's probably going to try to finish the night early, but that's almost impossible against a guy like Nate Diaz. He just proved he's too tough to be finished early. So my feeling is that this fight could potentially be fight of the night on a stacked card at 263. Arizona, the people of Arizona are in for a real treat.
They sure are. And I do see this one going the distance, actually. I mean, I see Leon doing everything he can to try to get a statement finish here, because 170 is so tough. And you've got Wonderboy Thompson, you've got Colby, you've got Gilbert Burns trying to get back on track. And so you really do have to not just win, but make a statement win. And I think it's going to be very difficult for him to finish Nate. I don't think necessarily that had the BMF title fight continued that Nate would have turned the tides and won the fight. I still think Jorge would have won the fight, but Nate's not giving up. Nate's not quitting. And as you said, he puts his foot on the accelerator in the 4th and 5th round instead of takes it off, which is what a lot of people do.
And if a doctor steps in and shuts this down because Nate Diaz is bleeding, I'm gonna throw something at the TV.
Yeah,
because Nate Diaz bleeds when he fights. So I feel like while Madison Square Garden is a really awesome place, and he was able to fight there a couple times, and he's done, made history, leave him out of fighting in New York City. We need to have him in a commission that's going to let things go a little bit.
Where do they sanction bare knuckle? That's Mississippi. That's where we need Florida,
Nate. I feel like he'd do pretty well over there. But I like the matchup for Nate, because it's a big fight field. It shows you that rankings and win streaks don't matter as much when you're such a big star. And I feel like Nate has earned the right to be one win over Leon Edwards away from fighting for the title at 170, which is something that, seems like maybe a bit of a cutting of the line, but he's earned that right more than anybody else, pretty much.
I think so. I mean, if you're saying Leon's the guy, he's not lost since he lost to Kamaru Usman. Right. He's on a tear. He needs to be in there for a title fight. Then what do you say about the guy who beats him? Which I'm gonna predict that Leon wins this fight, but I'm gonna predict that he has to fight his ass off to win this fight. I mean, Nate Diaz in the 5th round is going to be standing in front of Leon saying, "Let's get in the middle and go toe to toe." I mean, Leon is going to have to sing for his supper. If there's a fight of the night bonus, which I predict that there will be, it will be well earned by both gentlemen.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, guys, thanks so much for watching our video. Let us know in the comments. This is a 5-round non-title fight. There's got to be good reason for it, right? Winner gets the next crack at the title. Let us know who you think wins this fight and how. We love chatting with you guys in the comments. And as always, a like, comment, and subscribe helps us out tremendously with the algorithm, guys. And we will see you in the next video. Have a great day.
Peace.